Hey, guys. Welcome back to another episode. We're back to the Let's Talk About It podcast. Video podcast, we're still feeling that out. I need to get like a little intro vibe here, whatever. I'm your host, Leah Suzette Newmoff, and today, this week, in the Full Circle Wellness community, everything, we are talking about happiness, which is kind of why I'm coming to you flushed, sweaty, psycho hair don't care, have a sweaty day t-shirt and all. So let's just get right to it. I feel like today's episode is just going to be a little more casual. I don't have a strong plan here. I want to keep this loosey-goosey. I want to just kind of riff and lean into the joy of doing this, because that is truly one of the biggest reasons I started doing this. I love to talk. Which you can either love or hate or make fun of me for. It's fine. I love to just like talk about stuff, and I love a hat. Yeah, that's what we're here to talk about tonight, guys. We're talking about happiness. We're talking about joy. We're talking about the things that we love. And more specifically, I'm talking about how happiness is an action. It's not just this passive thing that happens to us. It's not necessarily a feeling, just like love. Like, I think we think of love as like this feeling, but I think that love is a lot of action. Because, you know, you talk about like the love languages and stuff like that, and it's like, most of those are action things. Like, it's gift giving, acts of service, quality time, like spent together and stuff like that. Happiness is the same way. I don't know if there is like a happiness languages book. I'd love to find out. See, now I gotta look that up because now I want to know. Anyway, I'm excited to be sitting back down here with you guys. I've been gone for the last 2 weeks. Lots of stuff has been going on in my life. I would like to think that I am Superwoman and that I can do all of the things, but I just can't. And I am doing my very best to make time for this, and I want to do that on a very consistent schedule, but sometimes stuff just comes up. So in this episode, I'm going to kind of touch on like a little bit of a life update. Again, we're going to talk about happiness as an action. I want to talk about the be, do, have paradigm, because I think that really falls in line with the idea of happiness and like having a good life, and also just like the concept of manifesting something, manifesting happiness, etc. And then I want to talk about joy lists, just leaning into that joy, because one of the slices of the Full Circle Wellness pie is joy and leisure. It's leaning into things that you love to do, having hobbies that are, you know, just for you, that have no ulterior motive. Like, there's no side hustle with your art making or whatever, like something of that nature. It's just joy for joy's sake. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that, and starting on things that give you joy. So we're going to have a lot of tangents today. Like I said, we're just going to keep this a little bit casual. I'm just going to riff. So when I first started like attempting to get comfortable in front of a camera and like trying to do a little bit of like podcasting, I started just doing videos within the Full Circle Wellness private Facebook community. And I would do those like on my phone, like full vertical format, like just trying to do what I could do to get comfortable talking for like 30, 40 minutes, an hour at a time about a single topic, which apparently isn't hard for me because, I mean, you guys, I'm incredibly verbose. Like I said, I love to talk. I will just go on and like get into a conversation with somebody. Seriously, tangent again. I'll be at the cycling studio and we will get out of class and sit there for like an hour and just talk. Like me, some of the regular riders, some of the instructors, like we've all just kind of become like friends. It's an amazing community. It's why I love going there. And that's actually where I'm coming from tonight. So welcome to Flush Face Sweat. Literally the hat, guys. I love this hat. So cute. I got this from this little boutique called Everyday Chic Boutique up in Wilmington, Ohio. I'm just obsessed with it. It's very Barbie-core. Super cute. Got my little initial on there. And it's just a little feminine for me. But I got the sweaty hair. You should see the pants I'm wearing. I wish you could see the pants. No, you can kind of see the pants. They are neon, guys. They are like electric yellow. Okay. So we had a glow ride tonight at Cycle Bar. So it's like, you know, we cycle with the, you know, the black lights and the lights are out. And I was like, I'm extra. And I was like, I need an outfit that's going to like radiate in this light. So I finally found some just like ridiculously neon pants on Amazon. And I was like, see, now I need like the matching top and they have like a hat at Cycle Bar that is like this color. I'm like, I'm gonna need that too. I'm just gonna need to get like a whole fit. Okay, I even have the earrings, can't see it, electric yellow, guys. Like I said, I'm extra. I come full out, okay? Like that brings me so much joy, which ties right into what we're talking about. So back to sort of the 5 tangents I've already taken us on. When I first started trying to do this, I would bring like one of my stuffed animals, because I have like a little stuffy collection. Stuffies bring me so much joy. It is like everything my inner child loves. I just love a stuffy. So I have a very small collection. I think I have like maybe 10 stuffed animals, and most of them you can, this way, most of them you can see behind me. And there's like one of my old American Girl dolls from like back in the day. But I decided today to go ahead and bring one of my stuffies. Guys, this is Hawthorne. He is a Triceratops, and he's incredibly like beanie and just like kind of silky, and I literally sleep with him. Mostly sort of as a pillow, like he ends up kind of like under my head as just some extra prop. But I got him at the Field Museum in Chicago when Boo and I were there a couple of years ago for the Rammstein concert. We went to go see them at the hang on, I'm not into football. What's the Chicago Bears? Cubs? Bears? Oh shit, somebody's gonna get on me about this. I don't do sports ball, guys. Football stadium in Chicago. Bears? I'm gonna go with Bears. We were there for the concert, but we had a whole day to ourselves ahead of time, and we were like, okay, let's go do a museum. We went to the Field Museum there, which is like their, I guess it's like a natural history museum, because it was literally everything. And they had the sickest dinosaur exhibit, and I found this guy in the gift shop, and I was like, I'm not going home without it. I love this because it also, like, when I'm an incredibly sensory person, and when I'm feeling anxious, I love to get something sensory and just like touch it. So this is like one of those things that I like to just grab a hold of, and I literally will just like, you know, like a kid kind of, like I just start petting it and squeezing it. And so he's with us today. I was bringing like a different one every time when I was doing these, just kind of practicing these with my group, and I kind of miss the joy of that and just the goofiness of it and the fun of it. So maybe we'll do that next week too. We'll just bring like another stuffy, and you guys can meet my small stuffed animal collection. You can also see a couple of them here on my shelf. They are both Harry Potter related. This one, I have a Hedwig and a Ravenclaw. The Squishmallows, guys. I'm obsessed with the Squishmallows. It's like the Beanie Baby of today. And if you didn't grow up in the 90s, you don't know the Beanie Baby craze, but it was batshit. Let's just start there. There was a store at Kings Island, okay? So where I live, there's this giant amusement park, kind of like, I don't know, like 30 minutes out, called Kings Island. And if you're into amusement parks, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you're from around here, you definitely know what I'm talking about. And when I was growing up, they had a store in the amusement park that was literally just TY. Like, it was TY Beanie Babies in the store. I would love to go in there every time. They also had this, like, Sanrio store that was, like, Hello Kitty. Obviously, the prices were, like, jacked way up, but seriously, guys, anyway, stuff that brings you joy. When it comes to happiness, like I said, we like to think that happiness is just some state that magically is gonna, like, come out of nowhere and just, like, land upon us and hope and pray that, you know, it's going to be a good day. But the reality is that we have to do stuff to actively bring happiness into our lives. You need to get up in the morning and tell yourself, okay, it's going to be a good day. I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to reach for the things that are going to make it a good day, because it's not just going to fall upon you. But when you do that, when you reach for the being of happiness, right? You wake up and you say, I'm going to be happy today. I'm going to reach for that joy, that goodness. Good stuff, that's how you attract good stuff. That kind of gets into be, do, have. We'll dive there in a second. But it's like that manifesting quality of, like, you attract the thing that you are. So if you are showing up in happy and joyful, you're going to attract more of that into your life. And I think if you're just naturally sort of like happy and joyful, stuff is going to like roll off of your shoulders. Like, you know, traffic isn't going to bother you. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I used to get so jacked in traffic, you guys, okay? Before I started doing a lot of healing work, the slightest bit of traffic would have me, like, you would not even know who I just became in traffic. I'd be like, oh my God, you mother girl, like, I'm gonna kill your kids, like, get out of the way, like, oh, like, I hope you die, but, like, seriously just getting ridiculous in the car. And it's like, why? Like, that is so stressful. Like, why is that the thing that's like, and the thing that's like sending me overboard? But the truth of that is, that's sending me overboard because my sort of threshold or my tolerance for stress was already like overflowing. Any little thing was going to push the next button. So if it was traffic, it was something else. But that, like, getting away from that required like really deep healing work. So it wasn't just something that I was like, okay, I'm going to stop like being crazy in traffic. It was like, once I started doing the healing work so that all little bitty things kind of stopped bothering me, that's when traffic stopped bothering me. So like, but I get in traffic now and I'm like, you get these people, I'm already doing, I don't know, 75, 80. Somebody speeds around me, gets in front of me, and then they're stuck behind the person I'm behind, and I'm just like, oh, you got so far. And I just think, like, who hurt you? Like, you are so stressed about traffic right now. Like, these people. And I'm like, this is your life. You are literally driving a death trap, doing, like, 90. Like, just chill out, okay? I'm already speeding. I just have a little bit of a lead foot. I'm not gonna lie, I got that from my mom, but it's just like, calm down. Speaking of my mom, guys, so a little bit of a life update. My mom just recently had just a super big surgery. I won't get into too many of the details, but it went super well. We were like anticipating this. You know, the doctors, though, they said everything went perfectly. Like, it was just, and I was the one who was there and kind of like took her to her surgery, it was a whole outpatient thing, got her home, like did the whole thing. And I had just been reaching out to you guys for a lot of thoughts and prayers and in the community and stuff like that. So I really appreciate all the good vibes you guys sent our way. She is doing fantastic. She's in super minimal pain. And I just like, oh, feels so good to know that that's like out of the woods for her. So just really good stuff that's going on there. And then as far as like another life update, I don't know that I would call this a life update, but like I broke up with my Fitbit. I feel like somebody was probably thinking she's going to say her boyfriend. Nope. Boo is still downstairs in the basement. We still have our life together. I broke up with my Fitbit, you guys. First of all, it was kind of starting to die. Second of all, I haven't told my coach. And if she's listening to this right now, sorry, Kelsey, I broke up with my Fitbit. But it's like, it was starting to die to the point where it's like I had to charge it every single day. And I was like, this is, like I'm getting like tired of this. I'm getting inaccurate information because I'm always having to take it off. And it's years old. So I'm just like, I'm just going to stop wearing it. And honestly, I love the ability to just toss some bracelets on my other wrist. So that's been fun. And speaking of coaching, I'm finally kind of like diving into working on a transformation life coach certification. So coming soon, we are taking this whole thing to the next level. You know, right now I'm really kind of like loosely offering like coaching advice and like mindset advice. And we're doing the podcast, we're doing the big talks, we're talking about all the things, you know, we're talking about personal development and mental health and how you can really like improve your life and make changes. And that's really heavy, particularly in my Full Circle Wellness community and within the resources that I post on the Full Circle Wellness website. If you want to get there, it's fcwcommunity.com. But I am working on a certification. So at that point, I'm going to, I think, start offering workshops and actual coaching. So I'm really, really excited to do that. That's been something I've always wanted to do. So tip hat to me, just like doing all the things, which is why I am here in my workout gear post workout, because I am doing so much lately. And I'll be honest, like it can be so exhausting, but at the same time, a lot of the stuff that I'm leaning into brings me so much joy. Like CycleBar, for instance, brings me so much joy. And that sort of brings me to the idea of a joy list. Like I said, happiness is an action. You need to reach for that. So I got the advice a while ago. I think it was from Rachel Hollis. She was talking about it on her podcast. About having a joy list, like literally a list in your phone or in a notebook or just in your head of stuff that you know brings you absolute joy, and making sure to actively sprinkle that stuff into your life on a daily basis, if not, frequently. Daily basis though, ideally. So things for me, like I said, CycleBar, I am obsessed. Like I love CycleBar. It's an amazing community. It's an amazing workout. We have these fun themed rides with all of the glow and the neon and the and the playlists, and it's also just like I go there, and while all of that is fun and the community is amazing, I'm also there to push myself to be better, to ride bigger, and it's like I still want to work up to being an instructor, and like I've talked to them about that already, and it's just like I love being there. I absolutely adore that community. And it's just something that's been in my life since like, I don't know, I think like 2017 or something like that. I've been riding at the studio that I go to literally since it opened. Have seen so many instructors come in and out. Ownership has changed, and it's just always still an amazing community to go back to. Of course, you know, there was a whole stint of like not going when there was COVID, because you don't need to be in a room with someone this close to you heaving the air when COVID's going around. So like, but now that that's kind of, you know, like filtered away, it's like, yes, let's go back, please, please, please. And then of course I also had my accident where I broke my leg, and there was nothing happening when that happened. Like, that put me out for like a year, you guys. It took the joy right out of my life. But I still had to kind of like reach for stuff, because I'll be honest, when I broke my leg and I was stuck on the couch like that, I was so depressed. Like, I already struggle with depression and anxiety as symptoms of premenstrual dysphoric disorder. So when I had to strap myself to a couch kind of permanently because I literally could not walk. And I mean, I could get up, I could go on my crutches, I could go to the bathroom, but like, I couldn't go and do things that I wanted to do. I could not drive my car. It was, you know, the driving, like my driving leg, like I couldn't drive my car. I couldn't go like walk around somewhere. I couldn't even get up and like cook a meal in my kitchen. Eventually I got to the point where once things had really started to heal, I could like get in the kitchen and sit in a chair and kind of like scoot around and do some stuff. But honestly, guys, when that whole thing happened and it first started, I was so strapped to the couch, and I can't tell you how many times I cried. And it's interesting because it really made me grateful for having an able body, because it's like not everybody even has that. There are people who go overseas and fight for this country and lose limbs permanently. Like, I lost my limb for months, and people, you know, have prosthetics and all kinds of things. And there's actually a gal that I know, the gal that owns this store is an amputee, and she has the most amazing story. She's the most kick-ass woman, seriously. And it's just like, I think about that and I was just like, I have to have gratitude right now. Like, I can't be moping and whining. And that was just something that I leaned into, and something that I learned from that whole experience, that like, I don't have to move and work out. I get to do those things. You know what I'm saying? And when I was down like that, I mean, some of the stuff that I really leaned into was like rewatching a lot of my favorite series. Like, I did Star Wars timeline from the beginning, Marvel timeline from the beginning, Lord of the Rings extended edition plus Hobbit extended edition from the beginning. Like, I just did all of the things, and it just went so fast. Had to like, anyway, that kind of stuff really kind of brought me joy in that time of just like, oh, like this sucks. But other stuff that I think like, at least it brings me joy, like just hats. Love a hat. Outfits. Seriously, I posted on my Instagram today. I was talking about this. If you don't follow me at @thereal_Leah Suzette, I would love to chat with you there. I was talking about outfits, like getting up every morning and getting dressed. Like, put on something that brings you joy, no matter how simple it is. We don't have to be, this isn't about like fashion. It's like, I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. I am not particularly like runway fashionista kind of a chick. Like, I like a lot of earth tones, a lot of simple colors. I will come in with like a pop of color. Like, I do love a pink, I do love a green. I like dark green, and obviously I'm wearing like electric yellow pants, but that was for a specific reason. I don't know that I would wear these just like to the grocery, but maybe it's a statement piece for sure. They're surprisingly comfortable. But the idea that like, dress for you to bring you joy. And I got some comments on that. I was just like, people were resonating. It's like, yeah, like get up and get an outfit on. I mean, all I was wearing today was literally some black jeans, like from Old Navy, some like rippy jeans, a black t-shirt that is God knows how old, just plain black on black, had on these cute little slides that I got from like Clothes Mentor. I think they were like thrifted slides, and then this denim Levi's that I got from an antique shop kind of recently, just going out shopping with my mom. But like, had on my little like crossbody that I got Amazon. Like, you know, sometimes I'll just get some fast fashion, sometimes it's vintage, sometimes it's nice. Like, it just depends. I like stuff that's all over the place, but I always put on something that's going to bring me joy. If I am going to bed, I might be even just wearing like a pajama set with like a cute scrunchie. Like, anything that's going to bring me joy, bring that into your life. As someone who has dealt with depression, this is so key for your mental health, because like I said, happiness does not just descend upon you, particularly if you do have a mental, well, I will say mental, I don't like the term mental illness. I know that's correct, but I don't like it because I don't like to think of it as illness, but it is. There's some stigma there. I don't know. I don't like to think of it as illness, but if you have like mental health struggles, we'll say depression, anxiety, and happiness seems to be something that eludes you. It really is, it's a practice. It takes time to re-ingrain sprinkling joy and stuff like that into your life, even if it's just outfits, if it's your morning cup of coffee. I love the smell of a bookstore. Like, I was so distraught like in the early 2000s when Amazon finally just like killed Borders Books. Does anybody remember Borders Books? Borders, anybody? My dad used to take me there all the time. I loved that place. Absolutely obsessed. Now, there is still a Barnes & Noble near me. I love to go into a Barnes & Noble. I have these notebooks. So I'm obsessed with this brand of notebook. It is called, let me figure it out for you, because it's actually in German, you guys. Nope. Leuchtturm. I'm going to assume I'm saying that right. You know, it's funny because I actually do work on German as a language, but I might have just butchered that. But I love these notebooks. They are dot pages instead of graph pages. So it's like a dot grid, so you can still write on it like there's lines, but you can also use it to, like, I do a lot of sketching, drawing squares, planning stuff out, like whatever. And I have been getting this particular style of notebook. I think I'm on my third one now, and I will probably always go back to literally this one. It also has these little pockets. I mean, a lot of notebooks have this, but it has like a pocket thingy in the back, so you can put your stuff in it. And the stretcher guy, and 2 bookmarks. So I'm just obsessed with these, and I get them at Barnes & Noble. And I'm actually coming to the last, like, 50 pages of this notebook, so I'm like, okay, I gotta go back to Barnes & Noble and get me a fresh notebook, and I'm deciding on the next color because I strategically get my notebooks in a color. This is just another one of those little things. Intentional, active about getting happiness in my life. I picked yellow this time because that is the color of the solar plexus chakra, which is something that I was wanting to work on kind of recently. Solar plexus chakra is kind of your like confidence. It's like shining your light. It's really like where that comes from. And I wanted that to be sort of a constant reminder in my life. So I picked a notebook that was yellow this time. Next time, I think I might actually go with sort of like a violet notebook. I really want to be working on my intuition, the third eye chakra. I'm gonna kind of dive into that a little bit more. I think I need some work there. I like to think about those things. I've gone through red. I did like a root chakra phase. I had a sacral chakra phase where my notebook was orange. Like, I know that sounds so simple, and maybe it sounds cheesy, maybe it sounds frivolous. Same with like outfits. But at the end of the day, while it might sound frivolous, it actually sends a message to you and your subconscious that you're worth having the things that you like to have, dressing the way that you want to dress. You're worth taking the time for yourself to do those things. We talked about that in the self-worth episode a couple of episodes back. If you go back, I went through kind of a list of things that can really help you cultivate your self-worth. And something like getting up, getting dressed, having the cute notebook that you want to have. I love blankets. So our house is filled with blankets. I have blankets all over the place, probably more blankets than I need. But I love to layer blankets. Boo thinks I'm crazy because I literally sleep under 3 blankets. Had to think about that for a second. I have one. No, right now I'm only under 2, but I was under 3. Right now I have one that's literally, it's so big, it's like folded in half. And then I have a weighted one on top of that. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like, aren't you sweating? And I'm like, actually, yes, I do wake up sweating. But then I'm also like super cozy. And then I think I talked about it. We got this like fluffy duvet cover, and I'm just like, I'm obsessed with the fluffiness. Anything that's like super fluffy. So like at the end of the night, one of the things that makes me so happy is literally like getting into bed. And I always make my bed. Like I get up, I always make my bed so that when I come back to my bed at night, it is made. The stuffy is there and waiting for me. The pillows are, sat up, and I can just like fall right into bed. Maybe get my Kindle's on my phone. So I get my phone out, do some reading. I do have regular books as well, but like I always like to read before bed, and then I'll start like my Better Sleep app. I'll do the sleep sounds and stuff like that. And then I recently got this weighted, guys. This thing is clutch, okay? I got this weighted eye mask for sleeping because I'm such a light sleeper and I felt like I just wanted something to like hold my eyelids down, and it is bomb. Also for sleep, magnesium. Not an ad, but I use First Forms magnesium. It's like a powder, you just put it in water and I like adds ice to it. Guys, I have not had this kind of sleep in the longest time, and I'm serious. Like I struggle with sleep because like I said, I'm an extremely light sleeper, and Boo is laying next to me, flipping, flopping, snoring like my dog snores. It's like it's too hot, it's too cold, like, and I will wake up a million times throughout the night to pee, to roll over, I'm uncomfortable, like whatever it is. And I got so sick of it, so I was like, okay, let me try magnesium. I keep hearing stuff about this, particularly also for like premenstrual dysphoric disorder, because I think magnesium has muscle relaxing properties, so you can really work through some like cramps and headaches and stuff if you've got magnesium, so that's always really nice. But I love it for sleep. I literally fall out and don't get up for the whole rest of the night, and I'm just like, yes, this is clutch. So anyway, that's bringing me joy right now. Again, not an ad. I just love, I actually use the First Form app to track my macros, and like that's how I work with my coach, and I use some of their products, and really good company. I mean, check it out. Check it out. Again, not an ad. I'm not cool enough to have partners and sponsors yet. Maybe we'll get there one day, and maybe First Form we can talk. But until then, just check it out for shits and giggles. As far as like other things that I would say, particularly that bring me joy, and we're gonna tangent this into a story. I was talking with Boo about this the other day, like places that bring me joy. So I talked about the bed. Like when I hit the bed at night and I'm there and I'm cuddled in, I've got my jammies on, I'm ready to just chill. It's like, like the joy that brings me is unbeatable. Okay. Cycle Bar is the other place that brings me just like incredible joy. No matter what kind of day I'm having, I go there and I leave and I'm like on fire. I hadn't been in like, I think it was like 5 days. Like I went on, it was like Saturday or something like that. And then I had some stuff going on. My mom had her procedure and everything like that. And then I finally went back and I got on that bike and I was just like, this is where I want to be, guys. Like I love being there. It makes me feel confident and powerful. I love it so much. So I was like, that is one of those things that's always going to find a way into my budget. Always going to be somewhere that I like make the time to spend because it brings me that much happiness. So that's kind of what I mean by happiness is an action. I have to seek out going there because I'm just like, I know that when I go there, it's going to bring me joy. I know that because the bed is made at the end of the night, I'm going to have this joyous moment crawling back into it. I know that if I do all of the shower stuff and do the hair stuff, that I'm going to have this like incredible hair day, and that's going to bring me joy. I know that when I get up in the morning and get dressed, that's going to bring me joy. So I take the time at night to maybe set out an outfit. If not, then I end up spending like 20 minutes in the closet in the morning like, okay, what do I want to wear? Do I want to wear this? I love outerwear. Like I really love a super simple like under situation, like plain white shirt, plain black shirt, whatever. And then like an outerwear situation. So typically I'm more of like a fall winter wardrobe person. Like summer always kills me because it's like, you got to strip down a little bit because it's hot. And I'm just like, oh, I don't love the summer, guys. I'll be honest with you. I feel like it's everybody's favorite season and I love it for like a minute. But I get so hot and so sick of being hot that by June, I'm done. So I always like gotta have something planned when it comes to the summer. And I'm not a dress person. I'm not a dress person. I'm a pants girl. Give me a pair of pants. I will wear pants in the summer. You will mostly find me in athleisure in the summer because I'm gonna sweat my ass off. And it's gonna need to be like wicked or whatever. Like wicking fabric. I just had a whole hiccup situation there. Okay. The other place, I just have to throw this out there, that brings me so much joy is the zoo. So our zoo is the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Gardens. God damn it, I can't believe this. Now I have the hiccups. This is not going to be good, guys. We're going to have this for the rest of the time. This is not good. Okay. Love the zoo. I love the zoo. We have like famous hippos. I'm obsessed with our otters, the giraffes, the lions, like the whole thing. And this past weekend, we were going to go to the zoo. Like it was like kind of a last minute decision. I got up late, missed my cycling class, guys. I just talked about how much I love cycling, so to get up too late and miss my class was like gut-wrenching. I was pissed. But I was like, okay, it's too late to get upset about it. It's in the past. It's lost. Whatever. I go all the time. I have a membership. It's fine. So I was like, let's go to the zoo instead. I was like, I want to get my workout in. And the zoo here has tons of hills, tons of walking. Like, it's a great walk. It's a great workout. So I was like, okay, let's go to the zoo. We'll do that. We'll get some lunch. It'll be great. Y'all, we get down to the zoo and the main lot is full. And I was like, damn. Okay, so we got to park in the overflow lot. But then the overflow lot was full. And the overflow lot was full. And we started going around corners and I went full fucking Karen. Okay, I was like, I am not doing this. I am not parking here. I am not walking up this goddamn hill. Even though I was literally like, I want to walk. I was like, just not do. And then the droves of people. Okay, I was like, the zoo is about to be packed. I was like, another day. We're going home. I was like, we have a membership. I don't give a fuck. We're going home. I was like, but I was so mad, you guys. I was so mad. And on that note, I feel like I want to throw this in here because even though we're not talking about anger, what was interesting about that and just like something that I want to say, like my therapist has talked to me about this before. It's like when heavy emotions come up like that, whether it's sadness or anger or whatever, anxiety, you have to feel it to heal it. So I had to just let myself feel that anger in whatever way felt comfortable for me. So like on the way home, I literally just kept saying like, I'm so fucking pissed off right now. I'm so pissed off right now. And it actually felt really good to just give voice to the anger. I wasn't like yelling. I just vocalized it. I was like, hey, like this actually really kind of made me mad. It was so busy that I wanted to leave. And that's, that's life. That's whatever. But I had already missed my class. So I was just like, ugh. This. And then we skipped lunch because we had just eaten because we were thinking, okay, let's have a small breakfast, go to the zoo, and then leave and do lunch. So it's like we weren't going to go to the restaurant now. So we went home and I was just like, oh my God, like blah. And I got home and I was like, okay, let me just scream into a pillow real quick. So I did, a quick like pillow scream. And then just some somatic stuff that you can do when you are angry. In particular, you can like push against a wall, just really kind of like move that anger through the body. You can even do like fist bumps on your thighs. Don't hurt yourself, but you can kind of like, punch, or you can do like hand fist. I like these. I like that bilateral punch of the hand. That can be good for anger, like releasing anger and stuff like that. I also actually really like to just like I'm screaming, but it's silent. Something about the act of doing that with my face and like forcing those muscles, I don't know what it does to the nervous system. I didn't learn this from anybody. That's just something I do like for myself. Like I just give myself that, like I'm screaming because I don't have anywhere to go to actually scream. Like I can scream into a pillow, yes, but it's like if I wanted to give like a bellow, I can't do that anywhere. I'm going to like cause alarm, right? You're going to freak somebody out. So it's like just the act of like silent screams, sometimes that can help. So just like doing those kind of somatic movements. Anyway, I think the same can be said for happiness. Like you can get up and just do like a dance. Like if you just want to like, if you're low, particularly if you're in like a freeze state or if you're feeling some depression or if you're feeling anxiety, you're not going to want to do this, but it will get you out of that state and like regulate your nervous system if you get up and just like move. You can walk, you can dance, like you can just move your arms around. You can even just like make circles with your hands. Make circles with your arms and start doing stretching. It just gives your body permission to get out of that freeze state. It can bring you back into sort of like joy. Another thing that I think is like really good for like reaching for happiness, especially if you're low. Excuse me. See, we're gonna get the hiccups again. You guys, that's not good. If you're low, Gabby Bernstein talks about this, and actually I did a workshop once at this place and they talked about this. It's like, you're not going to go from depressed, angry, despondent like straight up to joy. So what you need to do instead is just reach for the next best feeling emotion. Like reach for the next best feeling emotion that you can find, whether that's just contentment, maybe it's gratitude, maybe it's apathy. That's, that apathy is going to be a little bit better at least than your anger or your despondency. So it's like you just reach for those next best feeling emotions because you need to kind of climb that emotional ladder. You're not going to make this jump from bottom to top. You go kind of like up the ladder, reaching for joy. And then what I really want to dive into is this concept called be, do, have. It's this be, do, have paradigm. And it's kind of, it really mirrors even like Tony Robbins's idea of, I think he calls it state, story, strategy, like changing your state. It's kind of the same thing. It's that be, do, have, right? So a lot of people get this backwards. They think, and tell me if this is you, you might think, okay, I need to have more time, more money, the relationship, the X, Y, Z, and then I will be happy, in love, like whatever. Okay? A lot of people think that it's like have, do, be, that if I have this thing, then I can do X, Y, and Z and I'll be happy. Happy is usually the thing people are reaching for, right? I think that's the pursuit of happiness is kind of the thing we're all reaching for. It's in the Constitution. Wait, I might have, guys, I failed American government. Like literally, I passed that with like a D-. Forgive me if I just effed that up. Pursuit of happiness, you're reaching for that, right? So it's a matter of getting into that state. Like I said, Tony Robbins talks about state, story, strategy. People get that backwards too. They think they need a strategy first so they can make a story and that it will change their state. But it's the other way around. You want to be first. You want to get that state right. So in terms of happiness, I know this sounds hard and it sounds crazy, but you have to be happy first. You have to be happy with what you have. You have to be happy with where you're at. You have to find that peace, focus on that feeling first, because the feeling, it comes first. In a state of joy, in a state of happiness, in a state of peace. Peace was something that I really reached for, especially at the beginning of my healing journey. I was reaching for peace, that sense of inner peace, that sense of calm, because I was constantly living in a state of having anxiety, or my nervous system was dysregulated, or I was experiencing depression, or I was experiencing, ideas of not wanting to be here anymore. And that's just like really a really dark place to be. So what I wanted more than anything was just to be at peace. And what I learned, particularly from, it's Happy Days, the book Happy Days by Gabby Bernstein, is really one of the very first books I read that got me like, holy shit, I'm going back to therapy. I'm going to take the healing journey on. And she talks about a lot of therapeutic modalities in that. She talks about the somatic experiencing, like I talked about with, the punching or like the pushing, stuff like that. She talks about EMDR, which I did do with my therapist. She talks about internal family systems. And she talks about be, do, have. She talks about feeling first. Thank you, universe, for guiding me towards inner peace. That became like a prayer for me. It was just like, thank you, universe, for guiding me towards inner peace. Because I had to focus on creating that feeling in my life first. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, you can say, oh, you need to focus on a feeling. You need to be. You need to be. It comes from being happy, right? You be. And then from that place of happiness, peace, love, whatever, you take actions. And when you take actions from that place, the things you seek find you. That is like the principle too behind manifesting. We'll do a whole separate episode on like manifesting specifically, but this is just about that happiness. Although happiness is something that a lot of people I think want to manifest. They want to manifest happiness, and it doesn't come from, the bank account first, or the relationship first, or the job first. Like people think they're going to find happiness out here. That's the whole thing. It's an inside job. Change, transformation is an inside job. Healing is an inside job. You can have guides, you can have courses, you can have books, you can be listening to this podcast. But if you are not doing the work in here, I can't help you. The coach can't help you. The therapist can't help you. You have to do the work, and the work has to happen in here. So you have to start with that feeling. And if it takes prayer, if it takes getting to rock bottom and falling on your knees and realizing that you need help and support from someone, that's where it takes you. Like that was me. Like I had gotten to a place where I realized like I can't do this on my own. And I was seeking, I think, a lot of, validation, peace, happiness, all of those things, safety, security, control out here instead of finding it in here. You have to learn to be your own source of happiness, your own source of joy, your own source of safety. You have to learn to trust yourself. And it takes work, it takes time, but you can do it. You can do it with things like affirmations. You can do some of the stuff I was talking about. Getting up, taking care of yourself, hygiene, Literally something as simple as hygiene, drinking enough water, getting some movement, nutrition, putting on an outfit that you like, doing stuff that brings you joy. That's where the idea of like happiness as an action comes in. Because like I'm saying it's about being, but you have to like do stuff for yourself to get into that state of being. And I talked about some of the things that is for me. It's cycle bar, it's, you know, making my bed, it's getting dressed, it's like taking care of my hygiene. Like it's all of those things. And that puts me into a state of peace, of joy, calm, happiness. And then it's like from that place, I can be compassionate with myself. I can connect with others. I can be creative. And then when I'm in that state and I'm doing stuff, it's all going to feel natural. All of that stuff is going to bring me joy. And that's when you start to realize the stuff that you want, the stuff that you want to have, starts coming your way. Because you're coming at it from a place of joy, peace, happiness, whatever that looks like for you. So don't look out here. Start in here. When it comes to happiness, you got to start in here. You got to start with that being. You got to start with that state before you then start doing stuff. And then like Tony, he talks about it's like your story, right? So then you get into that state, you change your state. Sometimes that can literally be by physical movement. Like if you get up and you start jumping and you start doing dancing, you really like bring your energy up. Energy is something we have to create in our body. Like we are energy creators. It doesn't just like come to us. You know, if you think about inertia, like an object in motion stays in motion, or not in motion, like unless an outside force comes in. So you have to add that force, get that energy up. Once the energy is up, okay, now your state is changed. You've already changed your physical state of being. And then it's like, okay, now I'm going to do stuff that's going to bring me that happiness, whatever. And you're really sort of like generating that state that you're trying to be in, that existence, that place you're trying to exist from. And then from there, he talks specifically about story, and story is really about identity. It's about identifying for yourself who you want to be. And it's like that's a whole conversation. That's not necessarily where we're going here, but that's like saying, okay, my old story is that like, oh, that kind of stuff doesn't happen to me, and I'm not the kind of person who X, Y, and Z, and I'm not confident enough to start a podcast, and I'm not smart enough to write a book, and I'm not good enough to get a new job. Like whatever the story is, you need to change it. Like if you're going to transform, if you're going to change your life, if you're going to work on personal development, seek that happiness, work on all those things, you need to change the story. And that's what he talks about there. And then you look for the strategy. And, in his equation, it's like the strategy comes after that. Strategy being, okay, hire the coach, get the book, like take the workshop, like whatever. That's when you start seeking the strategy. And it's interesting because when I think about my own healing journey, I didn't necessarily start there. Like, just like anybody else, I started with strategy. Like I started with the attempting of having things. I thought that my career, because I was in a job that I hated, I thought that finding another job was going to be the solution to my happiness, not the other way around. That if I started with happiness, I would then find something that would better suit me in terms of like work. So I started doing stuff like working with a career coach and reading books like in that space and taking workshops, and I was trying to attend like every networking event, taking all the calls, like doing all the stuff to work on like career. But what I really needed to work on was myself. And eventually I got there. Okay. Like I did eventually get there. I did get a new job, and it's no surprise to me that I attracted a job that, while it was in the creative field, we've talked about this, and we usually leave it on the table because I don't want to be the person that like shits on somebody like that. But guys, that job was also not for me because the boss was not for me. Like I'm tabling. I'm not going to go there. I don't do the tea. I don't do drama. We don't do that. But it's not surprising to me that that's kind of like what I attracted because of like where I was coming from. Because I honestly went into that interview, in hindsight, just not as myself. Like I really kind of dress up, guys. I was wearing a dress. Let's just start there. I'm not a dress person. I don't do dresses. So I showed up, and I think these people saw one person, and that's not at all who I am. So but I was there for a year. It gave me the clout to get the job, like the sort of creative role clout that I needed to get the job that I have now. And the job that I have now, it's funny. I went into that interview 100% myself, in jeans, with 0 F's given about the outcome, and I got the job. because of the energy that I brought to the table. I brought myself from a place of, inner peace. I was relaxed. I'd already been doing some therapeutic work, and then I got that job, and I'm still there. And that's, it's a great job. Good small family company. Everything's working out. It's giving me the time and space to do this side work right now. And while I do want to, eventually sort of grow and create my own business out of this and do like coaching and workshops and all of that kind of stuff, and, we talk about it all the time here, it's a great job. And it's like, I attracted that because I was being me, and it came to me in an authentic way. And when I look back, that it was so synchronicitous too, because even the person who told me that the job was available, it was just kind of like out of the blue. Like, it was so, you look back and you're like, yep, God had a hand in that. The universe had a hand in that. That's how that happened. That's where, and then when I see those things and I think about those things, I'm like, that's where my faith comes from. We are, all of us, I am, you, me, everybody, always being guided. So even when you get rejected, even when you don't get the job, or you don't get the boyfriend, or you don't get like whatever it is that you're seeking, if it's wrong, it is a detour in the right direction. Think about that. Think about that. Think about something else guiding you and realizing that like, no, this thing's not for you. No, not that thing, not that thing. I need you to go this way, this way. And it's like, holy crap. Like when I think of stuff like that, I'm like, that's it. So when stuff doesn't work out, when I don't get to sit down and record my podcast for 2 weeks in a row, I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'm going to just relax. I'm going to just surrender. I'm going to just allow. I'm going to show up when I can show up and give what I've got and serve this community to the best of my ability. Share the things that I know are worthwhile, at least that I feel are worthwhile, things that have helped me in my journey, truths about my life and the things that I've learned, especially on my own healing journey, because I've been there. I have experienced this. I have been in the darkest of dark places in my life, in my head, like in my experiences. And it's like, if I can give that back and serve by doing so, that is what I want to show up for. So that's where we're staying tonight. I'm getting a phone call, you guys. I'm off. We're all over the place tonight. Like I said, this is just gonna be the most casual episode. It's my mother. She's calling me. I'll call her back because guess what? We're actually wrapping up right now. You guys, that's what I got for you tonight. Happiness. Key things here. Happiness is an action. Happiness is a state of being. So you have to be, do, have, and then keep a joy list. Keep a joy list. Think about the stuff that gives you joy and go back to it time and time again. If it's an outfit, if it's comfy blankets, if it's the smell of a book, like whatever it is, reach for it always. Like not for special occasions, like the china that you're leaving in the cabinet for like special occasions, get it out every day. Bring that joy into your life every day. You deserve it. You are worth it. That is where we're going here. That's the point. You are worth the work and the effort and the time. Always. Please remember that. Please remember that. Okay. So we'll wrap that here for our conversation on just like happiness night. And if you want to just kind of keep jiving with this, I'll be posting some more stuff, sharing some articles, sharing some other people's podcasts, all kinds of stuff throughout the week in the Full Circle Wellness private Facebook group. So I will link out the website, the private Facebook group, all of the things in the comments here on the YouTube channel so that you can get to that, because for some reason I can't put it in the description. I think I don't have enough like followers yet or something. I don't know. I'm just, again, you guys, figuring this out all as I go, just making it work. And that's it. I hope you guys had a good time tonight. I know I did. I like to show up and just be me and just be goofy and just have fun with you guys, because that's what this is all about. Just having some fun. At least I figured out how to get a mouse over here instead of having to just, we had that one episode. We finally got the mic. We got the what am I looking at? I'm looking at a webcam, literally looking at it. I finally got all that figured out, and then I had to like get up, we figured out just a little extra stuff. Anyway, if you dug this, if you like my vibe, if you're digging it, give me a follow, give me a like, subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. And just check out all the stuff that I'm going to link in the comments. I just want to keep showing up for you guys. So enjoy. And in the meantime, be well. I'll see you next week. Bye. And that's not smooth because we're turning it off. See you guys.